Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kayla, also known as Thrifty Mom of Two here on this YouTube channel. I'm a full-time reseller. I sell on Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, and on Facebook Marketplace. I create a lot of reseller related content just based off of tips and tricks, things I've learned along the way during my journey as a reseller. Here on YouTube, I share a lot of hauls, brands, items I'm picking up, what sold, just a lot of stuff like that. So if you're interested in reseller related content, make sure you subscribe down below. Also, if you enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up before you leave. So today's video is actually going to be a little bit of a different style video compared to what I normally put out on this channel. However, this is a topic or something that I've wanted to address for a while now. I just really wasn't sure how I wanted to do it or how I wanted to talk about it. But I'm just going to sit down and just kind of share my thoughts with you guys. Keep in mind, these are all my personal thoughts from things that actually have worked for me, things that have helped me scale my business, have helped me grow, and things that I believe to be true just based off of my own business. So the topic of this video today is all based off of one phrase, one commonly heard phrase or shared phrase in the reselling community, just a phrase that I'm sure you've heard if you're new to reselling or wanting to start reselling, or if you are maybe even a seasoned reseller. I'm sure we've all heard this phrase, but I do believe there's a huge misconception around the interpretation or what this phrase actually means that could potentially be harming your reselling business or keeping you stagnant, keeping you from scaling or growing. So I just wanted to discuss this topic and just kind of share my thoughts on this. Feel free to share your thoughts down below as well. I'd love to kind of get a discussion going about this topic, always in a friendly, manner. I don't really want any arguing going on, or I'm, really not here to argue with anybody, but I am open to, other people's beliefs as well. I know that my business model or my style of reselling is not the only style or way to be successful as a reseller, but you guys, I can only really share or talk about things that are working for me, because that, is my truth or what is, helping my business out. And I think it can help a lot of you guys out there as well. Okay, so that common phrase that you guys are probably waiting for me to share with you guys, that I'm sure you all have heard, we've all heard it, common phrase shared in the reselling market that I think gets misinterpreted all of the time is buy low, sell high. Now, let me make it clear, I do 100% believe this phrase to be true, but I do think that it does get misinterpreted often, and what buy low, sell high actually means to be successful as a reseller. So I think a lot of people take the first part of the phrase, the buy low. I think that's where the misconception lies. And a lot of people, especially if you're new to reselling, maybe even slightly seasoned to reselling, a lot of people believe that means, spend $5 or less an item, spend very low amount, do not pay up for anything. If anything's marked up in a thrift store, leave it behind. If you can't get it for $5 or less, don't buy it. And that right there to me is the problem in this phrase. That is a huge misconception, because to me, this phrase, what that means, buy low, sell high, is buy low for that specific item that you're purchasing, not spend $5 or less. Let me give you guys an example. Let's say you go into a thrift store and you find an item priced at $30. Now that's a lot for an item at a thrift store. However, maybe that item is consistently selling with a good sell-through rate, high sell-through rate on the marketplace that you sell on for $100 to $150 consistently. So what that means is people are willing to pay $100 to $150 for that specific item on a consistent basis, and you found that exact item for $30. That is a very low buy cost for that item, for that specific item. If you pick that item up for $30 and it sells for you between $100 and $150, that is a great profit margin. That is a huge amount of profit on one item, one set of photographs. To me, that is a lot less work than picking up a bunch of $2 to $3 items and having to do, 10 plus listings in order to get that same amount of profit. And just by selling that one item, you guys, you're going to increase your monthly total, your monthly profit, your monthly income by that much more because you decided to go ahead and pick up that item. So just to kind of reiterate my point or what I'm trying to get across, because I hope you guys are understanding what I'm trying to say, is the phrase buy low, sell high. I interpret it as buy an item at a low buy cost compared to its resale market value. That doesn't mean buy items $5 or less or $10 or less or whatever. Buy an item at a low cost compared to the resale value, whatever that may be. It could be spending $500 on an item that sells for $2,000, it could be something like that. Now, I do realize that every reseller may have a certain specific sourcing budget. And of course, it's important to stick to your budget, but that doesn't mean that you can't pick up profitable items that are priced up in the thrift store as long as you just incorporate them into, your spending budget.
Real quickly, you guys, I just wanted to pause the video right here just to say one more thing. I know, lovely screenshot of my face, but I wanted to pause the video just to say that I realize that paying up for an item may mean something different to every reseller depending on the thrift store prices in your area. But the same concept still applies no matter what the price is. So the same concept applies to, paying $10 for an item that's going to sell for $35 to $45, paying $20 for an item that's going to sell for $60, so on and so forth. The same concept still applies.
If you guys have watched my channel for a while or any of my videos where I share a lot of my buy cost with you guys know that I'm not afraid to pay up for items. I do a lot of retail arbitrage shopping, and I also do pay up in my thrift stores for items if the profit margins are there. With that being said, however, I think one of the most important skills you can develop as a reseller is learning how to read the marketplaces that you sell on, learning how to look up comparable solds, which isn't the most accurate thing to go off of. Yes, you want to look at what items are selling for, but you also need to be able to gauge how many items are available in either the same condition or size or whatever of the item you have versus how many sold, what the sell-through rate looks like, and all of that kind of stuff. You need to be able to read all of that on the marketplace that you're selling on. That way you can really take the guesswork out of reselling, which is the next topic I wanted to talk about on here, is how to eliminate and take out the guesswork in your reselling business. This specific topic is huge for me. This has made a huge difference in my reselling business. It's one of the reasons I've been able to consistently sell $10,000 plus worth of inventory for the past 6 or 7 months consistently, and it is because I have started to learn how to take out the guesswork. And by that I mean not picking up items that you're unsure of, not picking up items that you think maybe this will sell, or I know we're all guilty of this. I've done this a million times where I picked up an item and I'm like, that's cute, I think I can sell that. And sometimes it works out, but a lot of times that item ends up coming home and just sitting and sitting and sitting in your inventory for a really long time until you finally accept that really low offer with a low profit margin just to move that item, out of your inventory. So let's talk about some steps you can take to kind of take the guesswork out for you when you're outsourcing. And the first thing I think is really important is to develop a niche or a certain category that you sell in, that you become very knowledgeable in. Now, knowledge sometimes takes time, so don't get discouraged right away, but the more you sell of a certain category, the more you're going to know brands and styles and things to look out for to pick up, because those brands, those styles are going to consistently flip for you and sell for you. And that way you know those items are a good pickup every time you find them in the thrift store. I really truly believe the only way to become very knowledgeable in a certain category is to really stick to 1, 2, maybe 3 categories and just make those categories your strong point. Obviously, you want to pick categories that you're passionate about, things that you enjoy selling, things you enjoy, prepping. There's prep work involved with reselling. You have to prep your items, you have to photograph, list them. So you want to pick categories that you're passionate about, that you enjoy learning about, and that you're excited to find in the thrift store. For me, you guys probably know shoes is my #1 category. I love selling shoes. I love learning about shoes. I get that like reseller high, when you're in the thrift store and you find that really awesome pair of shoes. I get that every time I find a pair of shoes. It's a feeling that I'm like constantly chasing, that reseller high. And it's a feeling I consistently get that keeps me motivated and keeps me, wanting to go back to the thrift store, get good inventory, wanting to sell that inventory so I can go back and buy more inventory. And it just really keeps the ball rolling for me. So shoes is my #1 category. I also have developed a pretty good knowledge base of women's clothing. I sell some men's clothing too, but mainly like brands I'm familiar with because they also make women's clothing. But yeah, a lot of women's clothing brands I'm very familiar with. But even with women's clothing, because the brand list is infinite, I still have kind of like created a little niche or a little zone of specific items I'm looking for. I do like to sell a lot of activewear. I know what activewear brands I'm looking for. I look for a lot of like Lululemon, Athleta, those type of things. Those are the brands that I'm specifically looking for when I'm looking in those sections. I don't really stray from that path very often unless I find a high quality piece, like maybe a brand that is not very common to see in my thrift stores. And I look that brand up, I check comps, but because I know how to read the marketplaces I sell on, I know that that is a good pickup because I did the research. Another skill that you will develop over time that will really help with this, that will help eliminate the guesswork when you're outsourcing, is learning how to recognize quality in your specific niche categories. There are a lot of shoe brands that I still look up, or shoes that I find and I'm like, wow, these feel really nice. They're really nice quality. I've never seen this brand, but I'm gonna look this up. And sometimes they may not be good and I put them back, but that's okay. I've learned how to, again, read the marketplace. I know that's not a good pickup, so took that out. But a lot of times I do look those up and it turns out the resale value and the resell or sell-through rate on that item is also very good. So it's definitely still a great pickup. And now I've just kind of learned a new brand and expanded my knowledge base in my niche category. So now when I'm outsourcing, I go directly into the thrift store. I know exactly what I'm looking for. I know exactly what brands I'm hunting for, what styles I'm hunting for, and what sections I want to go to first. And that really not only speeds up my sourcing time, but it also helps me source good quality products that consistently sell for me, that aren't going to be sitting in my inventory, and that I no longer have to question when I'm tossing items in my cart, like, maybe this will sell, maybe this won't, maybe I should pick this up, I don't know, maybe I should put this back. I don't have to have that argument in my head with every single item I'm putting in my cart anymore. I'm grabbing items and I'm saying, yes, I found this. Yes, I found that. Yes, I'll take this. I've sold these before. Love this brand. These will sell quick. Those are the type of thoughts that are going through my head as I'm finding these items, because I've taken out a lot of that guesswork. Now, before anybody says anything in the comments, I just wanted to address that I do realize there's always going to be a small percentage of guesswork when it comes to reselling, because reselling is a slight gamble when you're picking up items. There's still going to be bad buys that happen, but if we can eliminate that as much as possible, and the majority of our inventory that we're picking up is not only selling quickly and consistently for us, we are going to be able to scale our business and grow our numbers a lot faster than picking up a lot of questionable items that we're really just not sure about. The key here is to focus on what is working for you and run with that. Eliminate what is not working. Try to lose or drop those habits of, well, I couldn't just leave this behind, or I had to grab this because it's cute, or, you know, I like the style of this, but I'm unsure of how it's going to do, but I think it'll sell, so I'm going to go ahead and grab it. Try to eliminate all those thoughts as much as possible, especially if you're really wanting to treat this as a true business and you're wanting to scale and grow your numbers. You really, really have to focus and take a look on paper, on, you know, your spreadsheets, whatever. Take a look at what actually is really working for you and eliminate what's not. I know it's not always fun, and I'm still guilty of it. Every now and then I find that one item where I'm just like, I can't leave this behind. But, you know, if majority of what you're picking up, majority of what you're sourcing is consistent sellers for you, things that you are confident in, things that are going to move quickly, you're going to be able to scale and grow your business much faster by just, like I said, taking that guesswork out. I know I'm really rambling in this video. This is why I wasn't really sure how I wanted to film this, because sometimes when I ramble, I feel like I may not make sense. So hopefully I'm making sense, or my points are getting across to you guys. I'm really just trying to make this video to spark some ideas in your guys' minds, hopefully to just kind of give you guys that extra push to get to the next level with your business, or just kind of get you guys thinking about some of these concepts. I realize that, you know, everybody's reselling business is their own, is different. Everybody's working under different circumstances. So some things that apply to one reseller may not apply to another. I understand that, but still you can take similar concepts and apply them to your business and your business model and make them work for you. So that is what I'm really just trying to accomplish with this video. I'm really just trying to share things that I've learned. I've been reselling, I think, for a little over 3 years now, and you know, there's definitely been periods of struggle, things I've failed at, and I finally feel like I've got my business to that consistent place. Like I said, over the last 6 or 7 months, I've consistently sold over $10,000 worth of pre-owned or new items, because I do pick up some retail arbitrage, but I'm consistently hitting those numbers. And now I'm just kind of looking for that next step, that next thing that I'm going to add to my business to even get me to the next level, which I kind of want to get to where I'm selling about $15,000 worth of product every month, or worth of items every month. And that's kind of what I've been evaluating and deciding what I'm going to do to get me there. I've actually kind of started something new in my business. There is a change I'm making that is going to help me, not anything with my sourcing or anything, but just with my business that I'm not going to mention yet, because I do want to make a whole video about it. I am just kind of trying it out right now to see how well it actually does help me scale. So I want to try this for a couple of months. But if it does help my business scale and push my numbers that much further, I'm definitely going to be making a whole video about it, what it is that I'm doing, that I'm really excited about. I've actually been doing it for 2 months now, and so far it's actually really, really helping, but I still need to sit down after another month or two and really look at my numbers and just see how much it has helped. As long as you know how to read your marketplace, recognize quality, take the guesswork out, all of that kind of stuff that we've discussed already in this video, I think you'll be able to grow your business. You'll be able to sell more items every month. You'll be able to make more money, which in turn will give you a bigger budget to go out and source with, if that is your goal. You know, if you have a low budget now, you know, that's okay. When I first started, I had a very low sourcing budget every week, but I've grown my business up, and with that I've been able to grow a larger sourcing budget, which I think is important if you want to scale. So you just got to take the steps where you're at right now and just keep, you know, climbing that ladder, keep climbing those stairs, and just keep scaling up if that is your goal. I know not everybody is wanting to do this full time, or, you know, you may be content where you're at. Maybe you just want an extra $2,000 every month, and you're making that extra $2,000 doing what you're doing. That's fine. Keep doing what you're doing. For me though, I mean, I I want to keep going. I want to keep growing. So, you know, I'm still trying to climb that ladder, but these are things that have really resonated with me, things that have really made a lot of sense and made a huge difference in my reselling business, and things that I just wish I would have known in the beginning or known how to apply.
Sorry guys, my camera actually cut off the rest of the video because I ran out of storage space and I didn't realize it stopped filming. But I just wanted to end this video with one final thought. I really hope that you guys don't get discouraged with your reselling business. Success, knowledge, all of that kind of stuff, it takes time, but it is important to take the necessary steps, actionable steps that will get you guys to that next level. So I'm hoping this video will at least get you some thoughts rolling in your head and help motivate you to evaluate your own business, make a plan based off of what is working for you, eliminate what's not working for you. And these are just some huge things that have made a difference for me that I wanted to share with you guys, because I want you guys to be successful too. If that's what your goal is with reselling, is, you know, to grow and scale. I think we all can learn from each other. We can each take valuable lessons that we each have learned and apply them to our own businesses as they fit. And yeah, I really hope this information is helpful to you guys. So if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.